We settle in the room, and I wash Valerian down with a wet cloth. It's a little too cold today for me to give him a bath right now. Once he's settled and napping, I take the longest, hottest shower in ages, trying to wash the memories of last night away. I found my mate, saw him, and he didn't recognize me. But worse still was knowing he was with another woman. The agony that it caused as I ran home was heartbreaking, as well as painful. When Marcus took me there, I hoped that he would recognize our son, and we could get the help we needed, that maybe everything could be fixed, especially once I realized he was my mate. It allowed me to hope for the first time in ages, and I caught a glimmer of it, only for it to be taken away. Now I'm failing my son once again. That much I do know. I can't help but feel that way. Valerian will never have a father. I'll never again have mine. How I long to go home, where I was the loved and cherished Alpha's daughter. Instead, I'm now ashamed and scum, forbidden to speak to my sister in my father's eyes. Not even my mother will fight for her grandchild or me. I know she's hurting, but I could never choose anyone over my son, so how could she choose Dad over me? My life has fallen apart. I didn't think it could get much worse than all that, but then it ripped out what was left of my heart. I thought my luck was changing when he stepped into the bathroom. Every piece of me was screaming for him. I truly realized how powerful a mate bond is for the first time. Nothing thrilled me more. Well, until I saw the look on his face. The way he yelled at me and ordered me off his territory will stain my memory forever. Then to have my father toss me outside in the rain afterward, forcing me to watch my son being looked after through a damn window, out of reach because I no longer deserve human decency from my own family. It's just too much to process. I thought I could do this. I thought I was stronger than this. But everyone breaks eventually. Everyone has a breaking point, and I have reached mine. Every damn thing weighing me down suddenly becomes too much, and I break. At least no one can see how fucked I really am while I cry in the shower. It washes out the pain I feel until it brings me to my knees. It's suddenly and startlingly clear how alone I truly am. Loneliness is deafening and cold. No one to tell you it'll be all right. No one to help you pick up the pieces. No conversation. I've lost my sense of self. I'm no one now. Just a mom. Just another rogue whore for everyone to look down on. Even though I'm not. He is my mate. But he couldn't even recognize me. I realize how small and insignificant I am to everyone except my baby boy. Hearing a knock on the door, my head jerks up from where it's pressed to my knees. I get up quickly, shutting the water off and grabbing a towel. "Everly, dear, open the door for me." "Sorry, just a sec," I call back, checking Valerian before tugging a shirt over the towel to try to appear presentable. I open the door to find Valerie standing there with a tray in her hands and 2 plates on it. "Thought I'd come to join you in here. The time must have slipped you by," Valerie says. I quickly take it from her, and she steps inside, walking to the small table. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how much time passed," I tell her, glancing at the old analog clock on the wall. Was I really in the shower that long? "It's fine, dear. I could hear you were upset, so I thought I'd come be an ear to listen," she says, and my brows bunch at her words. She points behind me to the bathroom. "That vent there is directly above my kitchen. It echoes through the pipes. I keep meaning to get someone in to fix it, but no one wants to help a rogue whore," she says with a sad smile. My face heats, and I touch my cheeks. "I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I hope I didn't disturb you," I tell her. She waves me off. "You forget I've been where you are. I would have put you in another room, but this is the nicest one left, and is functional. The place has fallen apart," she says, Valerian starts fussing, and I move to get up, but Valerie beats me to it. Go get your pajamas on. I'll watch him. Isn't that right, sugar? Yes, I love me some baby cuddles, she says, smiling brightly down at him as she scoops him up into her arms. Go on, get dressed, then we can talk, she says, and I nod, quickly digging through my bag and grabbing some clothes out before rushing to the bathroom. I dress quickly and come back out with my hair wrapped in my towel. He's such a sweet boy, Valerie babbles to him. He eventually drifts off, and she places him back in bed. So, what made you upset? Why the tears? It's nothing. Everything just got to be too much, I tell her as we unwrap our dinner from the aluminum foil. We tuck into the food, and I tell Valerie everything, bleeding my heart and soul out to her, the pressure lifting off my chest. I didn't realize how talking to someone who listened could feel so relieving. Valerie told me she also found her mate when she was my age, but since she's an Omega, he didn't want to tell anyone because it would bring shame to his family. These days, it's uncommon for someone to be so prejudiced over ranking. The most heartbreaking part was he never rejected her. Instead, he kept her around, refusing to let her go because he couldn't handle knowing she would belong to someone else. She said she became just another side piece so he would stay strong. Rejecting mates weakens us. Yet I think it was disgusting he would force her to endure the agony of being alone. When she got pregnant, he took her son, said it would be better if he raised him. She said besides pictures, she hasn't seen her son since he was a baby. He doesn't even know she exists, because her mate told him she died during the birth. Her story is tragic and gut-wrenching, yet she still loves him despite it. Have you thought of moving on? I ask her, and she shakes her head almost immediately. He still comes in every couple of weeks to stay the night, she tells me with a shrug, like she never thought about finding anyone else. Can I ask you something? Something a little personal? I need to know if I will be tortured my entire life. You can ask me anything, but then I want to ask you something, she says, and I nod. When I found my mate, he was with another woman. The pain. I mean, does it feel like that all the time? Will it feel like that every time he's with someone? She swallows, her eyes turning glassy. Valerie sits back in her chair, looking towards the window, and she gulps. You'll learn to endure it. After a while, even welcome it. Why would I welcome it? Because it makes you angry. I love my mate, but I also hate him. Sometimes hating them hurts less than realizing you'll never have them. It reminds you to keep on living despite what they do to us. Hold on to that anger, because sometimes it's the only thing that will keep you going. She tells me. I get a prescription, though. Powerful painkillers. They help take the edge off. But if he's anything like my mate, it's over before the drugs even set in. She laughs. Damn two-stroker. Tosses his mate and wonders why he can't fuck right. She laughs to herself, and I snort at her foul language, trying to hold my own giggle. She sighs, and I smile sadly at her. So, what's next for you? She asks. Not sure. Probably go back to my car, see if I can get my old job back, though he said no last time I asked. How about I hire you? I need help here. Not that much can be done to save this dump now. She laughs, and I look around the room. What do you think? Or do you think it's too much work? I could always burn it. Valerie laughs again, and her eyes sparkle. I laugh too, thinking that it probably would be easier to just burn the place down. I've been tempted to, but before me, it was my mother's. So I'm attached to this place, she tells me. I think it just needs a cleanup. New linens and carpets and some paint. I could go on, but the list would be never-ending. So, if you're interested, you can live here for free, and I'll provide meals and a wage, say $25 an hour, she says, and I nearly choke on my spit. I wasn't even making half that an hour at the restaurant when I was working, and that restaurant actually had regular customers. Are you serious? I ask, a little shocked. Very. I could use the company and the help. I don't even know where to begin. And honestly, I lost motivation to do it years ago. We can fix this one up first, for you and Valerian, she says, looking around. Tears well in my eyes at her generous offer. Don't suppose you got any friends? This might even be a bit much for both of us, she mutters, breaking off a piece of the table, the wood crumbling in her hand. I think of Zoe and Macy from the maternity ward. I might know 2 other girls from the maternity unit. I could try and contact them. Rogues? She asks, and I nod. Good. Tell them I'll give them $25 an hour. I'm good for it. I have more money than I can spend in this lifetime, so it'd be great to get some help. It'd be nice to see this place up and running again. It used to be the most popular hotel in the city when my mother had it. Also had a function room out the back. Weddings used to be held here, but not since it started falling apart. No one comes out when you call? I ask her. What is wrong with people? Who would turn her away? Nope. I arrange workers and they never show up. My mate keeps tabs on my phones. He's paranoid. I know it's his doing, she says with a sigh. Well then, I'll try to call the girls and see if they're looking for work. Would it be an issue if they brought their babies to work? Of course they can. There's even an old play center off the side of the restaurant downstairs. We could fix it up for when they're older and can play. Take turns watching them. While they're little, we can just strap the babies to us. Macy, I know, has family. Zoe, though, I think is like me. She was a little quiet and a year younger than me. Well, if either needs somewhere to stay, there are plenty of rooms. There are units out back, too, but they need a lot of work, she tells me. Well, I'll let you rest. And let me know when the girls can start, if they're interested. Come down for breakfast in the morning, too. Here, she says, handing me a key. That'll let you into my studio so you have access to the kitchen, if I'm not here, which is rare. I have nowhere else to go, she chuckles. Thank you, Valerie. You have no idea how much this means to my son and me. No need to thank me, Everly. So, I'll see you in the morning. We'll start ordering supplies. There should be a pen and paper in the drawer, if the moths haven't eaten them. Write a list of what needs doing that you notice, and we can go over it tomorrow, she says before looking down at Valerian on the bed. She brushes her finger down his little nose, her eyes softening before she clears her throat and nods to me before walking out. I can't believe my luck. I spend all night writing a list for Valerie, everything that I'd already noticed needed doing around the place. But it's a little challenging, considering I don't know what half the place looks like. I also spend a good chunk of time listing ways to advertise the place once it's up and running, because she really needs it. I've lived in this city my entire life, and I never realized there was a hotel on this side of town until I drove past in the taxi. And on the main street, no less. Valerie won't need this information until the place is ready to open, though, which is a long way off, and that's if it even passes the health and safety inspections, because this place is literally falling apart at the seams. After breakfast, I managed to get a hold of Macy and Zoe. Both are eager to find work and are floored with the amount Valerie's willing to pay them, making me realize it wasn't just me that was underpaid and overworked, but rogues in general. Macy's mother said she would watch her baby. Zoe said she would have to bring hers, but had a baby carrier and stroller she could use. Zoe's just 16 years old, even younger than me, making my heart really go out for her. Her mother was a rogue, but died when Zoe was a child, and she has spent her entire life in and out of child orphanages and refuges. How lonely it would feel to be entirely on your own all your life, though she probably doesn't know any different. She sounds miserable where she is, and I spend over an hour on the phone with her. After we hang up, I go down and speak to Valerie, asking if it's all right if Zoe shares the room with me. It has a fold-out bed if Zoe feels weird about sharing the double with me. Valerie seems genuinely excited about someone else coming here and happily agrees. The following day, I wake up to Valerie calling out to me from downstairs. Sitting up, I see Valerian is still asleep, and my mouth falls open when I realize it's nearly 10 a.m., We slept in. When sleeping in my car, I was usually up around 6 a.m. "Everly, wakey, wakey," comes Valerie's voice from the other side of the door as she knocks. I quickly rush to open the door, embarrassed that I slept so late. Valerie's standing there with a cigarette between her lips, wearing her typical jeans and tank top, an open vest, and steel-toe boots. She looks ready to kick ass. Hopefully not mine. She really is one tough lady with a heart of gold. "Finally, you're up. Did you have a good sleep? I didn't want to wake you," she says. "I am so sorry," I start, but she waves me off. "Don't worry about that. I came in with the master key and turned your alarm off. Come. I need your help unloading my truck," she says, walking off toward the stairs. I look back into the room. Valerian is sleeping peacefully, so I leave the door open before following her down the stairs in my pajamas. I've been shopping. Couldn't have Valerian sleeping on that dirty mattress, and now Zoe is coming with her baby. I thought I'd grab some things. Turns out I have a shopping problem. Everything was so cute and reminded me of when I was shopping for my son when I had him. Valerie gushes, her sparkle bright with her excitement. Pointing to the bed of her pickup truck, I blink, shocked. She had indeed been shopping. My hands go to my mouth. "Valerie!" I'm gobsmacked. I don't know what to say. I can't believe she's done all this for two rogue girls she barely knows. One of them she hasn't even met yet. There are two of everything you could possibly think of. 2 cribs, mobiles, crib sheet sets, blankets, and baby toys, some of which both babies are a little too young to play with yet. "Oh, check this out. This even has a camera, so you can watch them while they sleep," Valerie says, holding up a baby monitor. "Didn't have these when mine was a young'un." I don't know what to say. This is seriously the nicest thing anyone has done for me. You've already done more than enough, and I only just met you, I croak out, becoming emotional. Big fat tears roll down my face. How could one woman be so kind? She has shown more kindness in the last 24 hours than I received the whole year I've been rogue. "It takes a village to raise a child. We're going to build our own village," Valerie says before clapping her hands. "Now, let's get this stuff up to the room before the delivery truck comes. We also need to get that bed out. 2 new ones arrive around 12. What time will the girls get here?" "They said 10 this morning." "Well, we better hop to it. Then I need a coffee and about 10 more of these to build up the motivation," she says, holding up her smoke. I chuckle, and we start undoing the straps holding everything in place. I'm exhausted when I run the last of it up. The room looks more like a baby store than a bedroom now. I shake my head, trying to figure out where the heck Zoe and I are going to put it all. Valerie's taking a break and feeding Valerian a bottle. She's very fond of my son, and has commented about 4 or 5 times already about his eyes. Her fascination with them confuses me. Hearing a truck reversing, Valerie hops up, looking out the door and over the balcony. "Now, please tell me that's your car. Otherwise, I've just stolen someone else's from the train station," she giggles. "What?" I ask, getting up and walking over to see a tow truck with my car on the back. "Yes, that's my beast. I would have walked back and gotten it," I tell her, feeling bad she wasted money getting it towed. "Nonsense. Phil owed me a favor anyway. Picked him up one time when his truck broke down. Said he owed me one, and I simply collected," she says. The truck door opens and a big burly trucker gets out with a beard and balding head.
"Val, where you want it?"
he calls out to her. "Anywhere, Phil. We have the keys to move it," she calls back to him. Looking at the time, I see it's nearly 10 in the morning. I'd told the girls I'd meet them out front near the curb so they could find the place easier. They were also unaware there was a hotel here and seemed confused when I mentioned the address. "Girls should be nearly here," I tell Valerie. She sends me off with a little wave, going back to feeding Valerian and fussing over him. I smile at her. Valerie's whole attitude seems different since yesterday. She appears almost happy, like she's found a new lease on life. I wait for the girls on the curb until a taxi stops beside me. Zoe gets out and pays for the cab, and I help her grab her stuff from the trunk. I never knew this place was here, she says, looking up at the vast hotel. Kinda creepy. It looks haunted, she adds, and I chuckle. Anyway, I'm so glad to see you again. I've been so excited I barely slept a wink last night. She gives me a big hug. So, is this everything? I ask her, looking down at the stroller and duffel bag. Yep, that's everything. Our life in a bag. Pathetic, isn't it? Nah. See that piece of scrap metal? I tell her, pointing at my busted wagon. She nods her head. That was Home Sweet Home, I tell her, and she laughs. But seriously, as for baby stuff, don't even worry about it. Valerie went on a shopping spree. The room is packed with everything baby. So much so, we may have to sleep outside to fit it all in the room, I tell her. What? Really? How long have you known Valerie? She asks. Met her the day before yesterday. She's lovely. I've never met anyone like her before, I tell Zoe, and she smiles just as a green Daihatsu charade pulls up next to us, honking its horn a few times. Thanks, bro, Macy says, punching her brother in the shoulder and climbing out of it before tapping the roof.
Hi, girls,
her brother calls out, and we both wave to the stranger behind the wheel. Fuck off, Blake. Stop hitting on my friends. They aren't interested, Macy scolds her brother. She flips him off and he laughs, driving off down the road. Sorry about him. He's a sleaze. So try to stay away from him. Unless you want another baby, Macy chuckles, shaking her head. Noted, I tell her, and she quickly hugs us. She seems eager to get started, but her idea of work clothes is short shorts and a cut-off shirt showing her belly button. At least her hair is pulled in a bun. Borrowed the boots from my brother, she says, sticking her foot out to show us. He's a handyman, she explains when she catches both of us looking at the tool belts around her hips. So this is it, huh? Damn, this place is a dump, Macy says as we stand in the parking lot, looking up at the building. The bones are good, mostly, but she's right. It's definitely a dump. So, you girls interested in helping me clean this dump? Valerie's voice says from behind us, making us jump. Holy crap, you scared me. It, has potential? Macy says nervously. For a dump? Valerie asks, her lips tugging up. I didn't mean, Macy starts to say, but Valerie waves her off. It's a dump. I may be getting older, girlie, but I ain't blind yet. Pretty sure if one of you jumped in that pool over there, you wouldn't come out again. Water's probably nuclear. That might actually be that foul smell, she says thoughtfully before shrugging. So y'all up for the job? I'll pay on time, and anything this place needs, you let me know, and I'll try to order it in. But there's a catch, she adds. They both nod. What's the catch? Zoe asks. We are completely on our own. I have not had one electrician or handyman, not even a plumber out here in over 10 years. My mate ruined that shit for me. So if you girls have got any friends that are good with that crap, let me know. If not, we'll figure it out ourselves, Valerie tells them. It's going to be hard trying to source help, an electrician being the main thing, because I don't fancy being electrocuted. Handyman, my brother. That's where I got the tool belt and tools. Electrician? No idea. Macy shrugs. I may be able to help with that, Zoe says, and we all turn to her. She looks sheepish, almost apologetic. My daughter's father's an electrician. He's a real asshole now that he found his mate and doesn't want her to find out he already has a kid. So I'll threaten to tell her. He either helps when I ask or finds someone that will. Chances are he'll probably find someone else, but I know he'll do it, Zoe says, confidence returning to her face. I like you already. You tell him, darling, Valerie says. So that leaves plumbing, which we'll figure out, I guess. I tell everyone, and they all nod. So what do you want to do first? Macy asks. First, we fix the girls' room so it's livable. Then we'll start the others, one at a time, and list everything as we go, Valerie says, and we all agree, heading up to the room while Valerie takes the kids to her studio so we can focus on the job at hand. Everything we're keeping gets piled in the bathroom before tossing all the old furniture over the balcony into the dumpster Valerie had arranged for the renovations. Once that's all out of the way, the cleaning supplies come out. Armed and ready, we start ripping up the carpet. "Hey, Val!" Macy calls over the balcony. Valerie must have answered because she starts talking again. "Have all these rooms got floorboards under the carpet? I was expecting concrete." "Yeah, why?" I look down at the exposed floorboards, all in perfect condition. They just need a good clean and polish. "Because I don't think we should recarpet. The floorboards are in good condition in this room. If the rest are even half the same, you'll save a fortune by sanding them back and staining them. And if they're like this room, they'll only need a polish," Macy tells her. "Rightio, we'll check the others later, see what rooms can be salvaged," Valerie calls back. We finish stripping the smelly carpet out and toss it in the dumpster. Together, we carry the beds and mattresses up when the truck arrives, and the rest of the day is spent scrubbing the room from floor to ceiling. Valerie brings us drinks and sandwiches at lunchtime. She's so diligent about keeping us fed throughout the day that by the end of it, we were all stuffed and collapsed on the couch in her studio. "So, how many rooms are there?" Macy asks. I realize I don't know either. I haven't even walked around the building yet, and Valerie said there are units out the back, as well as a functions room. I feel nervous. It took us an entire day to clean and fix just one double room. Good question. She thinks to herself, like she can't remember. 23 rooms, 8 units that have 4 bedrooms in each, as well as the restaurant and function hall. There's a rear garden, too. Honestly, haven't been out back in at least 3 or 4 years, so goddess knows what you'll find back there. It's a jungle. Then the pool area, laundry room, game room, play center downstairs, and a bar. Ugh, this is gonna kill us, Macy says, pulling some underlay from the carpet out of her hair. She looks at her phone and sighs. "My brother's here to pick me up. I'll see you both tomorrow. I think early start. That sun was a killer today." 7 a.m. too early? Valerie asks, and Macy shakes her head. "Nope, perfect. See y'all tomorrow," Macy says, walking out and giving us a wave. "Bye," I call after her. Despite our victory for the day, I can't help feeling overwhelmed. This is an impossible job. So much needs doing. But I just have to remind myself one room at a time. Otherwise, it will be completely overwhelming. No wonder Valerie couldn't do it on her own. It's too much for 20 people, and there are only 4 of us and 2 babies. I sigh. Valerie suddenly reaches for the TV remote on the coffee table, turning the volume up. She always has the nightly news on, but I instantly realize what caught her attention. Alphanovel is once again on the news. A video plays out, and my heart lurches into my throat when I recognize the person he appears to be arguing with. It's my father. Both of them are screaming at each other in some club, and my father swings at him. His punch barely misses when Alphanovel steps out of the way, laughing at him. Suddenly, my father shifts, and the recording cuts off. The news anchor says they can't continue playing the video, as some viewers may find it distressing. The news then goes on about the old rivalry between my father and the Blood Alpha. Valerie looks over at me nervously. When are they going to get over themselves? Every week one of them is on the news, and quite frankly, I couldn't care less who the Blood Alpha is dating, or who shit on whose turf, Zoe says, shaking her head. That's not the mental image I wanted in my head. I chuckle. Been going on for years. Maybe one day they'll both grow up before they lose everything for good, Valerie states, and I nod sadly. Zoe, entirely oblivious to my connection with both alphas, sighs. No wonder the city is doomed with those morons running the place. Couldn't have said it better myself, Valerie says, nodding in approval.